The scene is granddaughter. She comes to the lodge of the ancient one, Unsi. She scratches on the lodge. Grandma bids her enter. The young girl comes in. She circles to the left and sits to the left arm of Unsi, Grandma. Grandma is beating on the war shirt of her father. She looks at the beadwork on the war shirt, on the leggings that Grandma has beaded. She looks at the belt that Grandma has beaded. And she says, Grandma, is it true what they say about the beadwork on the war shirt? And on Grandpa's leggings and his boots and his belt? Ah, granddaughter, beadwork on the native side tells a story. It always tells of the deeds of a great warrior or a holy man, but beadwork tells a story of your father's great deeds. You'll notice that there is a white background here, granddaughter. The white background can be used for almost anything, but during the season of the popping tree, we make the background white to let the people know that the beadwork was done during the season of the popping tree, during the season when there was no work to be done other than to gather wood and water. That the meat racks were now empty and dry and put into the parfleche bags that we store along the east wall of the teepee. Remember, granddaughter, that white always represents the winter snows, but it also represents the four-legged ones like elk and deer and antelope, the big ones. And then you have blue, granddaughter. Blue is like the sky that you see each day, that is here and long and deep, and the sky changes. Blue is also for the water that is upon the face of Mother Earth, the turtle. The red is always in the middle of most beadwork, because the red tells us of his bravery, the bloodline of the people. The yellow is Takanagishla, the great-grandfather. He is always in our beadwork because he has given us all these things. The white is courage and strength and honor. These things all represent something. This pattern that I have done on your father's belt represents the four directions of the wind, Wazia. From the Northwest Territory comes the breath of Wazia that brings the winter snows, so that Mother Earth may sleep behind the blanket of snow. This snow, when the spring comes, will melt and roll to the great seas. But on its way, it will nurture the seeds that the gopher has kicked from its hole. And the seed will rise up and be unbroken once more. For now, a new cycle of life upon this circle unbroken will once more be born new. But the beadwork will last forever, and we will see and read the honor of the great warrior and the time he has spent upon the face of Mother Earth, and the protection that he has given to his people. For we are one within the circle unbroken. Matakwa Ayosin, all my relatives, and all the beadwork that is done These are sacred things, the stories of the beadwork. The beadwork on the leggings tells of a great journey. But look again on the beadwork. You see the collar that your father wears? It is Mato the bear that you see. That tells you who this war shirt belongs to. You see the red scalp locks underneath? He must have met a great red warrior, but he took his scalp. The ornament tells you that he is from Northwest Territory, long to the cold land where you come from. The leggings with the beadwork on tell of that long journey. And this is a story of the winter count and winter beads.